Now welcome to this special program. My name now Organic. Now the program we're going to take you around what is happening in Nepal. Because Nigerians are tired of Nepal. Either you use electricity or not, you pay bills. You use your money to connect. Without light, you connect from one pole to another pole. You buy the wires. Either you like it or not, you pay bills. Even if you don't have light, sometimes for 2-3 months, they will come with bills. Say, okay, where do you get this bill now? They will say, they read it from the meter, from the transformer, sorry. And you don't have light in your house, then the transformer is reading your meter. So we have one big guy in the house. His name is Mr. Prince, a double Prince. Prince with Okori. We are going to be talking about serious issue today. The serious matter we dey here now. National Assembly, they don't become toothless bulldog. Then go only back, then they no fit bite. 10 months now, no, they don't promise Nigerians. Say what is happening in Nepal. They frown at it, frown at it that no, they must do something. Today is 10 months. We want to remind them, we want to tell them, say, Nigerians are still waiting, because Nigerians are not smiling. Let Mr. Prince Okuri said hi to the house before we start again. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Oga Nepa.
You are welcome to this special program.
Thank you very much.
Almost 11 months now. National Assembly have promised Nigerians that they even said they supposed to scrap those disco and gencos, that they are not doing anything. But up till now, this is going to 11 months. You don't hear anything. They only talk in the chamber. Okay, now like this you go today.
It is quite unfortunate that the legislature that should invoke the constitutional provisions that empower them to hold the executive arm of government accountable is lamenting as if there is nothing they can do, or rather saying things they think they have power to do, but not doing them. Like you said, this is 10 months after distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, sat in the chamber of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to lament over the bad kind of services the distribution companies are rendering to Nigeria,
under such circumstances.
Complaining about the kind of reform that brought about privatization. In addition
and
to
then
that, distinguished Senator
improve the production.
Somole,
That is what is happening in the power sector today.
in this country,
That
and
was
President
saying
the
that
Senator and the former governor added his own voice to it. But I think there is something we as citizens need to remind them. The executive, the legislature, they are there. The legislature make laws, but not just only making laws, not only repealing laws. Let me, if you permit me, let me
before you read, before you go
from
into
the
that
Constitution.
Before you go into the Constitution, we need to listen to them.
Okay.
And Nigerians also need to listen to them, because this is 11 months now. They promised Nigeria they are going to invite the minister. It's like the minister, if they want to, the minister is coming from heaven, they will invite him and invite Gencos, because this is 11 months. You understand? Let Nigeria listen to them before you start quoting your laws, because this is not acceptable anywhere. Even if it is not acceptable anywhere in the world, it's not acceptable, to be honest. And Nigerians are crying, and Nigerians are dying, paying big bills every day, bogus bills every day. They will be
in the power sector today.
paying money.
That was saying that part of your interaction with them will involve asking them, what do we do to improve on the power distribution in the country. The discourse have failed, as far as I'm concerned. The people just took the discourse, sat down, managed what the governors and the federal state government put in. They are making their money. No matter where it collapses, they are not interested. So it is going down. Distribution is going down. They took distribution at 90% in any particular state. So long as they are making money, instead they will increase the tariff in order to make up for the loss of the infrastructure. So it's very wide. I don't know whether the recommendations are far-reaching enough, but we will look at line by line. The discourse are there, and then the idea of estimated billing, where they don't even give you meters, and then they even when they don't give you light, they come and drop money, and they come and drop a bill for you to pay. So the distribution are very bad. We know you are very, very knowledgeable in the power sector, and you've been on it for a long time. That's why I said you are very familiar. I hope I didn't say derogatory. You don't need derogatory, man. I just said you are familiar with the power sector. I mean, you headed the committee. This is not the first time, so you know what is wrong. But we are concerned that the citizens are paying for power they are not getting. Many of them are being billed through estimation because there is no meter, and even the discos cannot even provide meter. They are not adding value. They are not providing transmitters, transmission, transformers. So, what was the essence of this privatization? So we make the laws. We can tinker with the laws. We can abrogate the laws. We can repeal the laws. We can request that the federal government to take back those things from them, and so that we can revive the power sector. So I think it should go higher than this. We should invite even the minister of power to come here and tell us what he's doing in terms of bringing people to book. We have not seen people being prosecuted for some of these things. Like I said, people just took Senator Adam Soshimole. You are governor now, and you know that you gave light to a lot of communities. You bought transformers. Since you left office, no new transformer. And the people that took over are just making money from those your transformers and those lines you put. And they are not adding value at all. Instead, if the community's light collapses, they go away. The community will stay for a year or 2 years without light. Are we going to accept that? We are parliament, which we made the law for them to go to that stage. If they are not doing the correct thing, we can reverse that law. This parliament has the power. We can reverse the law.
The distribution companies are licensed by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, which is a body created by the Act of the Parliament, the National Assembly. The National Assembly has a right or powers to investigate how the regulator is monitoring the performance of the distribution companies that they licensed. Now, even the money that is being spent, the Minister of Finance should be able to account for the monies that they spend on the distribution companies. The Central Bank of Nigeria can be investigated by the National Assembly to look at these issues. But beyond that, Section 88, subsection 2 conferred powers on the National Assembly to make laws with respect to any matter within its legislative competence and correct any defects in existing laws.
Okay.
So if the Electricity Act that established the distribution companies is defect in any way, the National Assembly has a right to amend or change it.
Yes.
But what is most important here is the B part of this section, where it says the National Assembly has the power to expose corruption,
Yes.
inefficiency, or waste in the execution or administration of laws within its legislative competence and in the disbursement or administration of funds appropriated by it. In this now, from what the Senate President has said and what Senator Adams Oshomole has said, it is clear that there is corruption in the power sector. It is clear that there is waste in the power sector. The question is, what legislative action has the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria taken to expose these corrupt practices and to stop this waste that are happening in the power sector? That is what Nigerians should be expecting them to do. And then to do that, remember that the 109 senators are representing Nigerians in the 109 senatorial districts.
Yeah.
The 360 members of the House of Representatives are representing Nigerians in the legislative constituencies across the federation. And from the appropriation, money is given to them to open their own constituency offices. It is expected that their constituency staff in their constituency offices should be generating information, help them in research, help them in monitoring implementation of the power sector, policies and programs in their constituencies.
Yes.
But as it stands today, the question is, where is the report from the various constituencies? So failure of the sector begins by failure of the legislators, both in the Senate and House of Reps, in instituting or ensuring that their constituency offices and the senatorial district offices carry out research and monitoring activities and report on the performance of the distribution companies and the entire power sector in their areas. Just like the Senate President and the Senator Oshomole said, the federal, state and local government own 40% of the value chain
Yes.
in the power sector. But who is representing the states, the local government and the federal in the distribution companies? How much has the states generated from the distribution companies? How much has the local government councils generated from the distribution companies? Just like the Senate President rightly observed, that state governors invest in power, buy infrastructure, and these distribution companies took them over. Why would they take over investment of states and they don't declare any profit for the states? And there is a legislature that has the power to investigate this matter and take action on them. So beyond their lamentation, we expect action to be taken 10 months ago.
Yes, 10 months ago.
So
yeah.
I will tell you, if you give me permission, I will go ahead and tell you. Remember that in 2018,
Yes.
the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission came up with what they call meter access provider.
Yes.
That meant that Nigerian consumers that pay for meter will be refunded through energy credit. We have done research in collaboration with a law firm, Law Hub, and the written Freedom of Information request to Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to give us information. How many consumers have paid for meter under the meter access provider?
Okay.
How many have been refunded? Then remember that there is what they call capital expenditure that the regulator approves for the distribution companies, and it's called CAPEX in short form. There is also operational expenditure. The CAPEX is meant to be used to provide capital, provide infrastructure like transformer, pole, wire, those things. And then OPEX, which is operational expenditure, is meant to provide money for the distribution companies to carry out repairs
So
on
money has been
infrastructure.
provided for.
Monies have been provided from 2014 down. If you wish, I can tell you what we have found out in this regard. And we think that the Senate need to really begin from this angle to look at it, to investigate. Let them investigate. How many persons paid for MAP, meter access provider? How many have been refunded? Like this distinguished senator spoke. If they are interested in the well-being of Nigerians, they should be able to ask the distribution companies through the Ministry of Power to explain how many consumers have paid for under meter access provider. How many have been refunded? From the information we have,
Yes.
Discos is provided information through NEC that they installed 2,334,418 meters under the meter access provider across Nigeria. While refund to
Only
customers,
2 million plus.
yes, while refund to customers who paid for meter access provider is 1,234,992.
They are be able to refund only 1 million plus.
Yes. Now, what has happened to the rest?
The rest 1
When
million
are
plus.
they refunding the rest? When you look at it again, the same consumers that pay for meter under meter access provider, the same consumers are being made to pay meter acquisition fund as part of the bill they pay to the distribution companies. What is the difference between acquisition and meter acquisition fund and meter access provider? You are the one paying for the meter, and you are the one still giving them money for meter acquisition fund. Under that, the report shows that 41,855 has been charged meter acquisition fund across the federation. Now, careful evaluation of this reveals that the discos in the 19 northern states of the country had 516,555 meters installed under MAP, while refunds stood at 201,407.
So
This
over 300
covered
now.
Abuja Disco, Just Disco, Kaduna Disco, Kano Disco, and Yola Disco.
How
Then
many states? There are five states.
Yes. Then the discos in the southern part of the country had 1,817,863 meters installed and 1,033,583 meters refunded for. This covers Abad Disco, Benin Disco, Eko Disco, Enugu Disco, Ibadan Disco, Ikeja, and Port Harcourt Discos. Now you see that the consumers in the south are paying more.
No.
The north, they are paying less.
Yes.
Then the question is, how has the refund been this short? The issue in the above, if you permit me to go further, is we need to ask, the data that we have here now with regards to the number of meters installed under MAP policy came to in 2018 is what it came to in 2018 is worrisome. A country of 36 states, 774 local government councils,
Yes.
over 200 million persons, 109 senatorial districts, and 360 federal constituencies is said to have this small number of meters.
Yes, 2 million.
2 million
2.2
installed.
million installed.
Is worrisome.
That means they are exploiting Nigeria under. Are you sure this 2.2 million is the particular number of the
yes,
meters
it
that
is
have
the
been
number
installed?
Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission provided, and
Okay.
it covers between 2018 and 31st March 2025. Between 2018 and 31st March 2025, this is really a challenge to the power sector. Therefore, the National Assembly or the Senate that is complaining need to take legislative action to investigate. Why is it that the number of people, is it true that is the number that paid for meter access provider between 2018 and 2025 across the whole federation? Can they provide figure? Let them start by themselves by setting up committee in their constituencies to verify the number of citizens, consumers in their constituencies that paid for meter under meter access provider and the number that have been refunded. This will not be done from Abuja. They should go back to their constituencies
And ask
and
questions.
generate information.
Yes.
Get reports, so that inviting the minister is not for minister to come and explain. It is the minister to come and answer to the information, respond to the information they've gotten from their constituents. Without getting information from their constituents, who are the consumers, inviting the minister will not yield any result.
The minister is not even, they don't even care about the consumers.
Yes, in the ministry, you have a department in charge of transmission, you have for generation, you have for distribution, none for consumer protection. And section 119 of the Electricity Act 2023 is on consumer protection and licensing performance standards. The question is, who is advising the president through the minister for power on consumer issues, on issues related to implementation of electricity policies as it concerns consumers in Nigeria? There is none. And that is where the legislator need to start from. Let Senator Godswill Akpabio, let them pass a motion or resolution that a unit be created to monitor policy implementation with regards to implementation and enforcement of section 119 of the Electricity Act 2023.
Okay.
That is what I will say.
Okay. But now, you know, a lot of Nigeria, they want to get meter now, as it is. They paid, they've not seen meter, and they will even bribe NEPA. You understand? To get them that meter that they want meter. And you know, this estimated billings is killing.
On the issue of the meter, a licensed electrical contractor came to our office last week to complain.
Okay.
Even the money the people pay to get the meter, the distribution companies like Abuja Electricity Distribution Company is frustrating people from getting the meter. The Licensed Electrical Contractors Association is created. They are the people that are supposed to fill the form they call Form 74. And the policy entails that before electricity will be connected to a building to fix meter, the licensed electrical contractor will come and inspect the building and confirm that the wiring is okay, so that there won't be fire accidents.
Yeah.
Now, it is embarrassing that consumers that need meter now will go and pay for meter and engage a licensed contractor to come and handle the installation of the meter through working with the distribution company. Now, this person gets to the distribution company to fill the necessary forms, and they're asking him for money. After the consumer has paid big money for meter, you are still giving bribe, table to table. If you don't pay that money, the form will remain there. The person that needs the meter will not get the meter according to the time schedule for them to get the meter. And he has paid money. And this is being done. Nobody has investigated. Now, if a licensed contractor refuses to give that money, his form will not be processed by the distribution company, and the client who need meter in his house will not get. Yet you hear the distribution company talk about meter bypass. Some of these things happen because of frustration that consumers go through.
Yes.
When a consumer is frustrated by legitimately getting meter, or you are giving a single phase meter for over 100,000, and the person engages a licensed contractor to help him process it, now pays the licensed contractor, you again, that is to benefit from the meter in using it to collect your money, you are charging them bribe again to be able to process the meter. Is double problems. So let the Senate also look into this. Let the regulator look into this, because the way the whole thing is going is like Nigerians they are vulnerable in the hand of the distribution companies. And the way the Senate is lamenting, what will the ordinary citizen do? The Bible says if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? If the Senate and the upper chamber of the legislature in the country is lamenting over what is happening in the power sector, what will the ordinary consumer do? So Nigerians expect the Senate to take up strong hand in this matter. Let this not be restricted to just a committee on power. Yes. Why will the police?
They will just come.
Why will the police and the civil defense not be made to investigate these matters? After all, civil defense is said to be the one with the mandate of protecting critical national assets and infrastructure. These assets they are protected. Is it assets that are provided by the consumers, or the ones provided by government? Now, is it the one that consumers have spent their money to provide? Then you go and want to protect it when the people that are using it have not paid them back. In other words, you are encouraging cheating. You are encouraging fraud.
Yes.
You are encouraging extortion. Because why will a private company licensed by government to provide infrastructure refuse to provide? Then a citizen provides it. They refuse to refund the citizen. Meanwhile, there is a law they call third-party investment policy, which entails that if somebody that is not a distribution company invests in providing transformer, pole and wire, the person should be refunded, but no enlightenment on it. The consumers are kept in the dark, and they will be told by this. Imagine an estate where the transformer got spoiled in life camp, and they wrote the distribution company to repair it. They told them they have 200 transformers waiting to be repaired, that they cannot repair it now. The estate had to spend 15 million naira to engage a private electrical engineer.
Is there a way for them to refund to get a refund for that 15 million?
Now they are complaining. The complaint now is, was there an agreement? So if there was not agreement, how will you now use this transformer to be supplying light and be collecting money? So government should look into this. Can cause crisis.
But it's like you said something that the NEPA, the discos are the one that introduced a contractor that repairs that.
They did
for 15 million.
Yes, that's what we have reported to NEC. The regulator is looking into it now, and we have reported to Abuja Electricity Distribution Company. They will investigate the matter and now know why it should be so. But the President Tinubu administration needs to know that what is happening in the power sector is enough to cause crisis in this country. If you can get an armed robber and put him in the prison, why are you putting armed robber in the prison? He stole what doesn't belong to him.
Yes.
Now you empower a distribution company like Abuja Distribution Company to provide transformer and supply electricity and collect money. They refuse to provide transformer.
And
transformer gets spoiled. They refuse to repair. Somebody now spends his money. They will now use that transformer to start making money without refunding the people. Money. So what is the justification in putting people in prison?
Okay.
And again, there is section 209 to section 221 on offences and penalties segment of the Electricity Act that deals with these matters. So government somehow is promoting injustice in the sector. So the Senate need to look at it. Why is EFCC not brought in to see this financial economic fraud in the sector? Why is the police not brought in? Is the distribution companies above Nigerian government?
But the police are working with the discos now, because if you do any bypass or you refuse to pay their bills, they come with police and come and take it, bundle you.
That is the injustice in the sector.
But if they refuse to give you power supply and they come with bogus bill and you refuse to pay, they will still come with police to come and arrest you.
These things happen because the consumers are not taking steps to challenge it. They need to challenge, and that is why we are doing this broadcast. We are doing it because we are ready to support Nigerians to challenge these things that are wrong. These are illegalities. They are unlawful acts. Because why will the police join them? Before the police will join them, they should see the bill and know that that bill is legitimately generated. You cannot give somebody estimated billing without following the estimated billing methodology approved by the regulator. Somebody comes to say he hasn't paid, he's owing me. Number one, who owns the transformer that you are using to give the light? Who owns the pole? Who owns the wire? You need to ask the distribution company. Then where is the meter reading that made it sure that this was what the person has used? If you don't provide those things and you go, it's like government using government to oppress its citizens in violation of section 14(2)(b) that says welfare and security of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. But remember, ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
It's not.
The consumers need to know the rules guiding this sector.
Yes.
Consumers need to take steps to report these issues. Yes. If a policeman comes with a distribution company to your premises, challenge the policeman. Challenge and write petition. Demand to know why the person came. Demand to know whether the bill the policeman came with them to your house is the bill generated according to the law. If Nigerians begin to challenge these things, the distribution companies will be careful in what they do. But because they don't challenge them, they do whatever they like.
Okay. Now, you know, a lot of Nigeria pays, they just buy all these electrical materials to aid their community. And as you said, you rightly said that they can collect their money back from the disco and the gencos. A lot of Nigerians are not aware of this. How can they claim back the money that they've spent? Because you said it now that they said there is no bargain. Will you bargain with NEPA or the discos before you will be refunded? I don't understand.
The simple thing here is that the laws need to be challenged.
Okay.
And the institutions of state set up to protect citizens' rights should be challenged. Like Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, they are there. Why will consumers be treated that way? It shouldn't be so. Now, there's no enlightenment. If there is enlightenment on third-party investment policy,
yes,
where the consumers will know that before they invest, there has to be agreement between them and the distribution company. Okay. It won't be like that. The plaza where my office is, they were to do it. When the Abuja distribution company secretly migrated the plaza to Band A, and this is a plaza that was on Band B. They migrated the offices here to Band A. When it was discovered and the light was not coming, the occupants of the plaza went to them to say, look, connect us to where there will be light. They said they should bring 3.something million to enable them get cable to do it. When we got the information, we approached NEC. I thank Mr. Zubeiru, the head of consumer affairs in the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission.
Okay. We
drew his attention to it. He invited us and we went. He quickly called the Abuja Disco. They denied. That is why the plaza did not run the cost, because there was no agreement.
Yes.
That due process was not followed.
Okay.
But why people fall victim is that they are ignorant of this law. The question now is, what is National Orientation Agency doing? Well, the Orientation Agency has the mandate of policy enlightenment and generating feedback. In all this discussion, what has Orientation Agency done? Orientation Agency only will do propaganda that will promote government,
yes,
and tell citizens not to complain.
Yes.
Things will get well.
Yes,
while the policies that will make things work,
it.
They don't tell the citizens about it. It's not proper.
So thank you, Mr. Okorie. We have come to the end of the program today. Tomorrow there is another bumper package for you Nigerians, because we are not going to keep quiet. We keep shouting. When we keep quiet, things will keep collapsing. And you see, if we talk of power supply in Nigeria, you see the power, the grid has collapsed. Every day keep collapsing. We don't know why. But tomorrow, Double Prince is going to tell us why the grid is keeps on collapsing every day. Because me, as I am now, I'm tired. I don't know where to go to, because my area, for like a year, there is no power supply. We are in the dark. We paid money, over 3 million we paid, so that we can restore the light. After 1 or 2 months again, the thing blew off again. Everybody said, okay, we are tired. We are not going to contribute money. You contribute. After contributing, they come again, they want to buy this, buy that. You pay. But keep the same thing, keep returning. You see, you cannot even, if we start talking about NEPA today, for a complete year, we keep saying the same thing. But National Assembly have to help us. But we too, we have to help ourselves. If we keep quiet, things will continue like this. Please, if there is a complaint, you have anything, we have our hotline, there's a WhatsApp line. Send us a message. We are going to work with you. If there is something that we can do on our own, we do it. If there is something, we take the fight to NEPA, we go to NEPA and fight them. I don't know them as PACN. I know them as NEPA. Because if you take...
don't know them as Abuja Disco.
You don't know them as Abuja Disco. If you go anywhere in Nigeria, just make a research. Ask Nigerians that, do you know PACN? They say no. Do you know NEPA? Say, you see, 80% we know NEPA. 80% we don't know what is PACN. 80% is only 2%, but 80% know what is NEPA, because they have to return it to NEPA. These people they are not helping us. They are just here to come and suck our blood, and they are sucking it, and we are crying, but nobody to help us. We need to help ourselves. So let's see tomorrow when we are going to give you a full package, a bumper package on how to fight, how to get the money that you spend. When you spend money, how to get a refund. They have to refund you, because there is provision for them to refund you. You cannot be using your money for them, and at the end of the day you not get a refund. Abi, Oga Prince.